Hola, tudo bem, konnichiwa, hello, ¿cómo estás, what to do? So, here's the thing, man. So last night I just watched an excellent basketball game between the Denver Nuggets and the Golden State Warriors. But the problem is it wasn't supposed to be an excellent basketball game. This was supposed to be a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, done, in and out by the Golden State Warriors. They were at home. I believe they've been winners of, I want to say 9 straight, but I could be wrong. They were one of the hottest teams in the league. They were not losing like that. And especially since they've gotten Jimmy Butler. I believe since they've gotten Jimmy Butler, I don't know if the hot streak was with Jimmy Butler or since they got, just in general, since they had Jimmy Butler. Because I think he sat out one game. I don't know if they lost that game and then they've just won every game that he's been in or what's the case. But they've been hot either way. So the Nuggets roll into town after just getting smacked on by the Wizards. Joker's my guy, but that's some of the worst defense I've ever seen in my entire life. Alex Sarr, I believe, is the Wizards' top draft pick from this past draft, who's been all season, really came out and put the pause on Joker. And I was watching Joker's defense, absolutely unacceptable. They lost that game because Alex Sarr went crazy, and he should not be going crazy like that. But he was basically doing shooting drills. So, Joker wasn't on him. And so, again, as much as I love Joker, what you got to realize, he can put in much better effort than that. He'll never be a great defender because he doesn't have the measurements. He doesn't have the speed. He doesn't have the quickness. He doesn't have the crazy jumping ability. So he's never going to be a great defender. But you're going to need more effort than that, man. You just can't let a guy do whatever he wants out there, especially a rookie. But either way, Joker was not playing. Murray was not playing. Braun was not playing. I think it's Brown, but I mean, Braun or Brown or whatever his last name is. He's pretty good, though, so no disrespect, Christian. That's his first name. You're pretty good, man. But you weren't playing either. So we had a starting lineup of Russell Westbrook, Michael Porter Jr., Peyton Watson, Hunter Tyson, and Aaron Gordon. I have no idea who Hunter Tyson is. Looks like another shooter, even though he was only 1 for 4 last night. But he contributed. He played hard. He looked okay out there. So you're going in lower, right? A lot lower. After losing to the Wizards with your full cast, now you're going in minus some big pieces. However, Russell Westbrook put the pause on him. And he didn't have a great shooting night, ladies and gentlemen. He didn't have a great shooting night. He was 5 for 18 from the floor. It's pretty horrible. 2 for 9 from the 3. Also horrible. He also had 7 turnovers. Pretty horrible, right? But he had 16 assists, 12 rebounds, 12 points total. Russell Westbrook didn't have the best overall statistical game. It was up and down. But what he did do is he went out there and was a leader, remembered that he was an all-star, and put his foot down on a very good Golden State team. A pretty good Golden State team. Not very. Not very. Pretty good. Michael Porter Jr. had 21 points, 10 boards. Came out, put the pause on him. Peyton Watson, who I think is a project, but I like Peyton Watson. I do like his game, I must say. He had 13. Did not shoot well from the free throw line. That's not good, buddy. But it was 2 for 6 from the line. I think he's overall 74% free throw shooter normally. But overall, good game. Great defender. Excellent defense. Again, I said Hunter Tyson, 4 for 9, 1 for 4 from the 3. Not terrible. But he was shooting like he was a shooter, so I guess he's a shooter. And Aaron Gordon, 38 points, 6 for 6 from the free throw line, 4 for 6 from 3, 14 for 23 from the field. 6 boards, 3 dimes. Also has 7 turnovers, though. Got to stop turning the ball over. I think that both teams combined had like 40 or 50 turnovers. It was pretty bad overall. So you look at this stat line, all right, and that's pretty good. And on the other side, Steph only had 20. Jimmy only had 23. Neither one of them did. Well, Steph has 7 assists and Jimmy has 6. So they did all right. Draymond was as bummy as usual. Although he wasn't really that bummy. I mean, he played an okay game. 10, 6 boards, 5 dimes, 3 steals, 5 blocks, 4 turnovers. Steph has 7 turnovers. That's not good. So that's pretty much the game. Kuminga had 13 off the bench. Peyton had 18 off the bench. Why is this important? This is important because a lot of people, and I like Joker. I'm a Joker fan. I love Jamal Murray as well. I'm a Nuggets fan. I'm a Laker fan, but I've always liked this Nuggets team because I like some of the players. And honestly, and I can get into this in another video, I have not been happy with the Lakers. So I haven't really been overly rooting for them the way I used to. When even after Kobe was gone, I like the young guys, the Lonzos, the Ingrams, the Kuzma back in the day. Even D. Russell, you know. I liked the young team, and then LeBron hijacked the team, and I haven't really been happy with that since. But this is important because Joker has been an amazing player. He's 3 MVPs. He's putting up statistical numbers we've never seen this year, based on what people are saying. I'm not really obsessed with numbers. I look at them for something, but I watch games. There are people out there saying that Joker has no help. He's never had help. He has no all-star. All that stuff. Okay. But this is a good example of this team has talent. And one thing I love about Russell Westbrook, he's going balls to the wall the entire time. He's not limiting himself. He's not stepping back and playing soft or scared. He had 7 turnovers. He was 5 for 18 from the field. 2 for 9 from 3, but at least one of those threes, from what I was watching, was in the fourth, right when they needed it, and he knocked it down, shot it with confidence, even though he was having a bad shooting night. One of the jumpers that he made was off of, he just had to throw it up because nobody else could get a shot, and the timer was running down. And it was like a very important shot in the game because Golden State was pushing, made it. And why is that important? Because he wasn't worrying about his field goal percentage, man. You're not always going to have good shooting games, and Russ is not a great shooter. We got that. But what he's going to give you is everything that he has. He's going to fight. He's going to claw. Still has 16 dimes and 12 boards. Does that make up for all the turnovers? Maybe not. But the win does. People are always saying the Nuggets the Joker has no help. That's not true. Russell Westbrook is an MVP. He's still a very good player when given the minutes, as you can see. He can take teams that are not that good and push them to win because of his will. Now, will they win a championship with him at the top? I can't say that he's done that. Can't say that he could do that. But he's going to compete. He's going to get the most out of his guys. He's got people high-fiving, excited, playing together as a unit, playing tough. Michael Porter Jr. had 21. People are always hating on Michael Porter Jr. He's not that good. Joker's playing with nobody. Listen, man, Michael Porter Jr. is 6'10". Coming out of high school, he was like the #1 player. He had back issues, so he went lower in the draft. But realistically, Michael Porter Jr. is that guy, man. I remember watching him in high school. Like, nobody could beat him one-on-one. Could his game improve a little bit? Definitely. But here's the thing. He's playing with Joker. How much is his game supposed to improve? When Joker doesn't play, 21 points, 18 shots. And he didn't have a great shooting night either. He was only 3 for 10 from the three. But we know he's an elite shooter. What more could you do if you didn't have to wait for Joker? And I love Joker, again. But Joker, everything goes through him, which is fine. But, excuse me, it takes away from Michael Porter Jr. a little bit. Right? Aaron Gordon is a monster, man. You're talking about a guy that's like 6'8", 6'9". We know the athleticism. In my mind, he got cheated at least out of one of those dunk contest wins. At least once. You could argue both times he should have won. He's an elite athlete. He's an elite athlete. He's also an elite defender. Why do you think the Nuggets been beaten down in the Lakers so bad? LeBron James can't run Aaron Gordon over. In fact, everybody on that team is like about 6'4", 6'5" at least. They have a big team. LeBron can't just run Aaron Gordon over. That don't work. 2 years ago, he tried to do that, and that's when he got blocked for the game. Couldn't even get the shot off. You can't just run over Aaron Gordon. He's a big boy. He's also very good around the rim, extraordinarily good around the rim. Who cares if he made an all-star team? Now, for him, I guess you would want to make one. For Murray, you would want to make one. For Michael Porter Jr., you would want to make one, of course. But you know what's more important? Winning. They have a ring. They got to the top. So all this, again, Joker's my guy, but sitting up here doing all this talking about how his team is not good, that's not true. The Nuggets have one of the best starting fives and top sixes in the league. And if Peyton Watson is coming off the bench, I'd say you're okay. And there's another guy on their team. He didn't play last night. Struer or something like that. I like him too. They got some pieces. But I will say, they play a slower brand of basketball when Russ is not on the floor. Especially. They do a lot of setting up. They look like they actually run plays, unlike a lot of other teams. They actually look like they're running some things. So sometimes, it's not going to look as pretty because they have more of a set team game. Same thing happens with the Lakers. With Luka, you're not playing that fast. That's not the goal. With LeBron, depends, but he also likes to control the game. So they're not just running up and down with their heads cut off, like a chicken with their heads cut off. There's some actual thought going into some of the things that they're running out there. And at times, what that does is it makes it so that things go through Joker, and maybe you can't take that first shot that you were going to take if you're Michael Porter Jr. Maybe you got to wait for the play to develop if you're Aaron Gordon. If you're Russell Westbrook, sometimes you're in the starting lineup, sometimes you're not, and that messes with your numbers a little bit. But I say all that to say, this Denver Nuggets team is not chopped liver, man. These guys are ballers. Don't get it twisted. All-star game or not, these guys are ballers. So it drives me a little nuts, I'm going to be honest. One of my favorite people online is this guy named Scap Attack. He's a brother in Kobe Bryant. What do I mean by a brother in Kobe Bryant? He and I 100% agree on everything Kobe. 100%. I have no complaints about anything he's ever said about Kobe Bryant. We have the same mindset on that. We have the same mindset on a lot of stuff. How we see players like Joel Embiid and some of these other guys who are just wasting our time to some extent. But with Joker, he goes very far out and tries to mention how Joker is, unstoppable and nobody's ever been as good. Listen, Joker's nice. Don't get me wrong. But he has help. Whether or not they made an all-star game is inconsequential. I watched the game last night. I watched the games. When you watch the games, the numbers don't matter unless they match the game that I'm watching. What I saw is Russell Westbrook be the best player on the court, even though he had 7 turnovers. It was 5 for 18 from the floor. That's something y'all don't ever pick up on. Let me repeat that. I watched Russell Westbrook be the best player on the floor, even though he was 5 for 18 from the field, 2 for 9 from 3, and had 7 turnovers. He was still the best player on the floor. How is that possible? Well, you got to watch the game and see what he's doing and when he's doing it. How he's leading his team, how he's not quitting, how he's calming people down when the other team makes a run. These things don't show up in the stats. But if you watch the game, you understand what you're watching. You know what you're watching. And that's what's lost now. So that's pretty much the end of this video. Just wanted to give a shout out to the Denver Nuggets for coming out there, and they've had a rough week, but that was a big win. And that showed that they have some heart and they're not done yet. So I have a lot of respect for that. And obviously I have a lot of respect for Russ. Again, it's not always pretty with Russ. It's downright ugly at times. But that doesn't mean he can't still be the best player on the court. And somehow along the way we forgot that. And part of it is because he went to the Lakers, and then, narratives start running when you're on certain people's teams. But Russ is still that guy, man. And he still has the ability to be the best player in the court if you let him. His energy is contagious. The belief he gets in his teammates is contagious. And a lot of his teammates had their best years. Some of the top players in the league that you've been talking about for years had their best years with Russell Westbrook on their team. So don't get it twisted. Thank you for listening to the J-Boy Sports Podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hopefully you'll be back. Much love.
I can tell that somehow you never get over leaving me. And when you feel like coming